major flooding that happened in Chicago. It was a presidential declared disaster, which brought funding and money to the Chicagoland area, but it did not bring enough. Today, we take a stand with our seniors. You good? You good? Okay. Okay. Let me know. Okay. Today, we are here with our West Side seniors, as you can see here with us. A lot of the seniors could not be here today due to the fact that they're in their basements trying to salvage what they can from their basements from 2 years ago. It's happening again, and they are being traumatized again. They're being traumatized again. Today we take a stand with our seniors that have been endured by generations of injustices. We are unifying our generations and communities for a common cause, our fair shake, also known in modern day as our fair share. For too many years, our senior population has been preyed upon. They have had predatory practices to the point where they are losing their homes to foreclosure proceedings because they cannot keep up with the inflation of pricing that is going on now, and they're on a fixed income. Our seniors are known for praying for us and for everyone. Now, who is here to pray for them? Today, we say enough is enough. Our seniors have been silently living in filth for 2 years with mold. Mold from 2023 that have not been able to get rid of due to being on a fixed income, unable to find the available resources or lack of resources, or having barriers and discriminatory statutes to keep them from getting the help that they need. They have begged, we have begged our elected officials to assist our senior population with being able to live out their last days peacefully and tranquil spirits, to only be told that they need to take a stiffer upper lip to get over their woes of their homes being damaged by years of disinvestment, that they no longer need to have any type of say-so because they're on their way out anyway. We are here today to say that is not what we see. Our seniors are the reason why we are here today, and we are going to take a stand against whoever may have a problem with that. These are not my grandparents, but they are somebody's grandparents. They are somebody's parents, and we're telling today enough is enough. If our elected officials don't think enough of them to have a conversation with them instead of talking at them and speaking up and doing their civil duty to make sure that they're safe in their one place that they call their safe spot, their homes, then what are we really doing here? They have been told that they have been negligent with their properties. They have been told that they have not upkept their properties on a regular basis, so therefore this is their fault. This is not their fault. These basements flooded. They did not ask for this water to come back in their basements. All this water that came in their basements had sewage. It was not all rainwater. The rainwater was just an extra icing on the cake that made it that much worse when that sewer went back in their homes, 4 and 5 feet tall. So today, we are letting our seniors know, you are not at fault. This is not your fault. We need for you to make sure if you need help, you get the help. Call and check on your neighbors. We are no longer standing for this injustice and this shameful type of degrading attitudes that are being pried upon our senior population, that then trickle down to younger generations where we feel as if we're not enough. These seniors are ashamed to feel that they are negligent with the upkeep of their properties when they were never handed a handbook that said home sweet home for their contracted land-owned properties. The gig is up, and the time is now to start holding those accountable who are supposed to be the mayors of our wards. We ask these mayors of our wards to please take heed. Make sure that you are taking care of those that have taken care of you for 30 and 40 years in those offices that you have. Now I will turn it over to Ms. Alberta Braden to speak a little bit about what has happened to her and her actual problems that she has going on at this time.
Good morning. My name is Alberta Braden, A-L-B-E-R-T-A. It's Alberta Braden, B-R-A-D-E-N. And I just want to say, as a result of the flooding, I got behind on my mortgage. I'm on a fixed income, and I have not recovered from 2023's flooding. My basement still stinks. I have mold in my basement, and I cannot use it. I'm still waiting on the city to give me some help. They promised after I've given them all my information, and I haven't received any help yet. Thank you.
Now we're going to have Ms. Marg Peoples to come and give her account of what's happening as a result of these 2023 floods and 2025 flooding.
Hello, my name is Marg Peoples, M-A-R-G-O, and then Peoples, P-E-O-P-L-E-S. I have a huge hole in my porch that I have been informing the aldermen and the city of Chicago regarding. I can't use my front porch at all. The hole is so big that I have to have boards to try to cover it. And they told me to reach back out to FEMA. I tried that. I reached out to the alderman. I tried that. I reached out to the city of Chicago, and I'm still dealing with this huge hole that's been in my front porch since July of 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Peoples. Now we will have Ms. Deborah Grant to come and give her account of what happened to her as a result of the flooding.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Deborah Grant. Deborah with 5 letters, D-E-B-R-A, Grant, G-R-A-N-T. The incident of the flood that has taken place in the Austin district for the last 15 years is very inhumane to the residents that live there. After we finish cleaning up from one flood, then there's another flood. Only for our city, where we pay taxes, have told us that they closed the gate. So who are they protecting when they close the gate? Who is getting affected when they close the gate? The residents in the land is getting affected by it. Our senior citizens, as has been stated, is still living in mold. If they're on a fixed income, there's no one to be able to come in and do it for free. Myself, I had to have demolition done in my whole basement because of the mold smell, and all the things that came with it was inhumane for us to live in. As Ms. Princess has brought up, that's not just water, that was sewer water. So we all have lost a whole lot that we had built up. We have lost a whole lot of things that can't be replaced, things that are ancestors has given us can't be replaced. And it appears as though those that's in the political field, they're not paying attention to the people. We put you in the office. You work for us. It is time for you all to get your mind right and get the job done and take care of the senior citizens and the citizens of the land. Thank you.
Next up, we're going to have Mr. Larry Quinn, who is experiencing now we have next up Mr. Larry Quinn, who has been having excessive medical conditions as a result of the flooding from 2023, and he also has been dutifully doing everything that needs to be done that the city has asked him to still be denied. So I'll let Mr. Quinn speak next.
Good morning. As she said, my name is Larry Quinn. I am really Larryquinn, Quinn. I'm really sort of blowed out about this here because I took a ride over by Mayor Johnson's house that he was living in on the west side. His house is immaculate. It's been done from the ground up. He got his friends' houses done. In 3 years, we still living like this here, and our basements are still tore up. I still got mold in my wall, and I just paid somebody to come in $3,000 to blow back just to slow it down. Now the stuff is coming up through the closets on the first floor and second floor. I done been hospitalized because the mold got in my chest so bad, I was in the hospital a week. They think these old people is getting sick because they think it's COVID. It ain't no COVID. They sit up and breathe in mold. The basement is really, it don't take that long for you to have a contractor come out to your house and do it. If they don't want to release the money so we can get our own contractors because theirs taking too long. They too slow. And one thing for sure, I lost everything in my basement. And when I say everything, I had the city to come out and they had to clean out my basement. It was too much stuff to put in the attic. Now, they just came out again and gonna tell me why they can't stop their pipe from leaking or whatever, because due to the flood, I had 5.5 feet of water. I had other things to get repaired in my house that I had to take care of. And I've been taking care of it out of my pocket. We still ain't seen this money from the city at all. But they friends and all that stuff is done. We still living in a hovel. So what I'm looking at right now, my basement walls have still got mold on it and still growing. I'm losing money every day. I had the water people out there try to come out there and fix your problem. Because when it cracked the foundation on my floor in the basement, it pushed my water pipe up and the pipe broke in the bottom of the floor. So the water going somewhere, but where, I don't know, up under my foundation. And the city came out there, looked at it, and said, you don't have a meter. That's your problem. So what we supposed to do and keep going forward if we still spend money to try to stay in our homes? They looking for stuff to write you up on and try to condemn your building to get you up out of here. Ain't nobody really trying to start up and do a new mortgage. Ain't nobody trying to sit up here and start all over. We're getting too old for it. But I don't feel it's right that how the mayor got his house done, the aldermans got their houses done, and they live right over here with us while we still waiting on the money that's already been here. This is crazy. I don't know what the solution going to be, but no, somebody need to help us over here because we ain't getting no help by the mayor or by aldermen over in this west side. We don't know, we barely even know when these meetings happening. If it ain't for her here, Princess right here, if she don't tell us, we don't know nothing. We don't have no clue. And when they talk about they had passed out something to help us clean our basement out, who need a bucket and a mop? And our walls is infected. Most of them houses over here is not concrete, they are stone. And if anybody know, if you soak stone in water long enough, the water gonna go in the stone and it's gonna bear in there, and then when it heat up, it's gonna crack it up. So most of the people's foundation is getting messed up pretty bad, and they sit up and taking their time of releasing this, doing what they need to be done, and coming out. So right now, as I stand here, I'm begging If I got to write a letter to the President of the United States again, I will, because that's what I did to Biden. And Biden put the money over here to help us. And we still ain't seen the money. How? How? But y'all gonna come out with a 5-point plan of what y'all want to do with the money that's supposed to come to us to help us put our houses back together? That ain't right. That's not right at all. So what we supposed to do with our seniors? Wait till they die off, and then y'all take the property for nothing? Or they get so sick they can't. They scared they let anybody in their house because they know they can't afford to get it done right now. Unfortunately, I had some money put away, but only difference now that money gone, and I still can't get everything done. And they still just sitting up here looking at us like we did something wrong. Y'all did this. This was y'all problem. I lost millions in my basement. I don't know who all had what's in theirs, but I lost big time. And then they talking about they got a program for small business. My business was in my basement. And it wasn't right for y'all to tell the insurance company to tell us we didn't have that coverage for backup insurance. We had it. You charged us for it. And then when they got time to pay, they didn't pay us nothing. So do with it what you got to do with it, but that's the honest God truth. A lot of these people is getting scared because they have no clue if they're going to be able to keep their home or not. We getting put out.
So those are very hard facts that a lot of our population on the west side here are dealing with. Mr. Quinn is very passionate because he's been dealing with this for 2 years. Can you imagine dealing with this for 2 years? Now we'll have Mr. Ruffin to speak briefly, and then after that we will have Mr. Howard Ray, and then we will close it out to see if there's any, we'll have 2 more speakers, and then we'll have open the floor if there's any questions from the meeting.
I would like to say good morning to you all. And I want to take this a step further. Where is the money? Now, the money was allocated to us on the last administration of President Biden. He allocated the money for us. He sent it to Congress, and Congress approved the money for us and gave it to HUD, and HUD supported it and brought it to Chicago. Well, now the money done got lost somewhere since HUD brought it to Chicago, and the mayor received it, because every time I ask about the money with one of my aldermen, they don't know where the money is at. They trying to trace the money down themselves. It is wrong for our elected officials to turn their back on us now. When they need us, we go out there and put them in office. We only want them to come out and speak to the mayor or the city of Chicago to turn loose the money so we can get our home fixed. Understand me, peoples. It's been 2 years. I developed a cough with all that fungus and that mildew and mold in my basement for 3 weeks. I started coughing back in 2023, and I'm still coughing today. And there's nothing can be done about it because of the mold and stuff that was in my house put a dying effect on my body. And it's wrong. I shouldn't have to live like this. The wife and I were cruising through our golden years, and then come the flood. Mind you, all the water and stuff that was in my basement, I didn't have the money to get it fixed, so what I did was I had to patch it up. So I had to paint over it in order for my kids to have somewhere to stay. You go to the city of Chicago, we put the application in, you hear nothing about it. We have people coming out to the house and making all kind of accusations, nothing is did about it. What happened to our elected officials? Why can't they come out and support us as we support them? It doesn't make any sense for us to have to do this. Listen to me. We are asking for this money now, and it's nowhere to be found. 10 to 15 years from now, our children is going to be doing the same thing if we don't do anything to stop this rhetoric that's going on with our mayor or the city of Chicago. The money been approved out there, show us the money. Come into our homes and fix it up like you're supposed to. The mayor wanted to tell us that he wanted to give up 70% of the money to a base organization to help the senior citizen on the west side of Chicago. What happened to the 30%? Everybody's getting a piece of the money, and they're getting it now, and we ain't getting nothing. And when you call and ask them about it, everybody got an excuse. Well, I'm tired of living the way that I'm living, and I'm tired of supporting a party of peoples that is not returning the favor. And I'm tired of things going the way they're doing in the city of Chicago. But you got to understand one thing. It happens because we allow it to happen. Them people cannot go in the office unless we go out there and vote them back in the office. We got a problem, vote it out of office. Next 4 years we got a problem, vote it out of office. Otherwise, we're going to continue to go on. Now I'm waiting. I got 3 phone calls already last night. Basements are being flooded again. My relatives is being flooded again, and they haven't fixed the problem from 2003. So what are we waiting on? We have to stand together, and we have to do the thing that is right. And we have to let our elected officials know that we're not going to stand for them running and hiding from us. And I'm talking about the Alderman in 29th Ward, Alderman Teleferro. I'm talking about Young Mitchell in 37th Ward. I'm talking about Jason Irvin in the 28th Ward. And I'm talking about Miss Monique in the 24th Ward. Get up off you all behind and come out here and support us. Thank you very much. I'm so sorry. My name is James Ruffins, R-U-F-F-I-N-S. Thank you.
We're going to have one more speaker, then Mr. Ray, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Good morning. My name is Dorothy Rosenthal, D-O-R-O-T-H-Y, Rosenthal, R-O-S-E-N-T-H-A-L. I'm a senior. I lived on the west side. The flood in 2023, I received 4 feet of water, not 2 feet, not 2 inches, 4 feet. It knocked over washing machine, my heating system, my dryer. The water was inside the dryer. It tore out walls, it tore out sinks, it destroyed my bathroom in there. FEMA came. FEMA said $3,000 should do it. $3,000 didn't. I complained. They said, okay, another $2,000. $2,000 didn't do it. The heating system alone was $8,000. FEMA came, I complained again. They said, okay, we'll give you $2,000, that's it. You've reached your limit, get a loan. I live on a fixed income. I've worked all my life. I cannot afford to get a loan. I cannot afford to pay another bill. The city of Chicago was allotted $476 million from FEMA to not only help the residents of Oak Park, of Chicago, those that were affected by the flood. The city wants to use some of that money for the sewer system. That money is not allotted for the sewer system. That money was allotted for us, for the basements that are falling apart, for the people that have mold crawling up the wall, for those of us who have a whole room they can't get into, for those of us who use our laundry room and are sick 2 days afterwards when you use that room because the mold, dry mold is still there. When I call my alderman's office, I get, we're doing the best we can. His best is not good enough. You call the mayor's office, they send you a polite letter that basically tells you, go to hell, accept it or not. This is not what I worked for. This is not what we voted for. This is not what we pay our taxes for. That $476 that FEMA allotted for the residents on the west side who've had their homes destroyed, and now this year are still having water coming to their basement because the problem wasn't fixed in 23. That money should be put aside for us, to help us, to make us whole. That is what FEMA is supposed to do. That is what we worked our entire lives for. That is what we pay our taxes for. That is what we pay our political representatives for, to represent us, to say, our people need this, get it. Instead, we have our mayor who says, okay, well, I call my alderman, it's polite, it's respectful, but it gets me nothing. I can get that at Jewel. We need our elected officials to either stand up for us. If you're not going to do that, don't take from us. Give us the money that FEMA allotted for us. If you're not going to help me, don't hurt me. My mother used to tell me, we teach people how to treat us. I think too long the West Side has elected people that don't care. They give us what they think we want to hear at that point. And then after they're elected, we don't hear from them. We cannot continue to let people who don't respect us represent us. I am in Alderman Irving's ward. I have yet to receive any assistance from him, none from the mayor's office. They're polite, but polite doesn't fix the holes in my wall. It doesn't fix the holes that my brother keeps patching that the rats keep working into. It doesn't fix my porch whose foundation on the left has shifted because I had 4 feet of standing water in my basement because the city did not do their job. That is all we're asking. We're not asking special favors. We're not asking set-asides. We're not asking you to do for me what you're not going to do for somebody else. We're only asking you to give us what was allotted for us so that we can make the repairs that we need on the property that we own, that we worked all of our lives for. This is a time when we should not be worrying about mold crawling up our wall, people coming out inspecting our building saying, oh, this is not good enough for something we haven't done. We should be able to rest in our homes in relative peace, and we are not doing that now. Thank you.
As you can see, we have one more speaker, but as you can see, this is a real problem, and it's just becoming worse. Now we'll have a word from Mr. Howard Ray, and then we will open it up for questions.
Good morning. My name is Howard Ray, S-H-O-W-A-R-D, R-A-Y. I'd like to thank Princess for letting me speak today. What I want to discuss here today is about hope. Now, we still have a chance to receive money. FEMA gave money to the community, which wasn't much. FEMA also did not give the city of Chicago any money because they said that even though the disaster happened, Chicago would not get any government assistance due to the fact that they neglected for many years the infrastructure. So that part of the government said, we are not giving you any money, Chicago. Now, HUD comes along, and thank God for HUD for coming along. They looked at the situation. They said, we're going to help out Chicago, and we're going to help out the people. And so HUD comes along, and they give out a community development block grant disaster relief. And some of our people up here spoke on the money. HUD is given $426 million and $608 million to Chicago. Now, the problem that the citizens in Chicago are having is the citizens do not agree with the city of Chicago, the mayor, the elected official action plans. We went to 2 meetings, and their action plan illustrated that the $426 million that's in this pamphlet here that they issued out on those 2 meetings back in June, that money, all of that money would go to the city of Chicago infrastructure. I just explained one part of the government said that the city of Chicago would not get any money because they neglected. So HUD said, Chicago, we're going to give money, but 70% of the money that we're going to give to Chicago in the future, which is hopefully real soon to help out your citizens, we want 70% of that money to go to the unmet needs first. And what I mean by unmet needs is people like us. I'm also a victim of the flood. 70% supposed to go. So when you take 70% of that 426, that would take care of all of the community that has been declared a disaster ward in the LMI, low moderate income area. Now, HUD, as I mentioned before, they are saying 70% are supposed to go towards the citizens first, and then the rest of the money you can do whatever you want to with it. So with that being said, HUD, we need for you to enforce this. We need for you to enforce your own rules. The 24 CFR 91.105 is a provision that the city of Chicago is supposed to regulate. The executive order 12898 is another provision. These provisions will help us out in the future, right now. So we're hoping that City of Chicago eventually get together with HUD and the community and do it. One of the action plans that we have our own action plan, and that is to clean the basement immediately. 2, the money that HUD in the provision states that the money can be reallocated to the city department as of Department of Water, Department of Streets and Sand, Department of Building. That money could be allocated to hire people temporarily within the city from the LMI community, which is community like ours, to be hired directly to work to clean up this disaster situation that we have. So HUD, City of Chicago, let's do this. Let's get the community clean. Let's get the unemployed employed. And this will help the unemployed to have future employment with the City of Chicago. Also, HUD, by not enforcing your provision, you are practicing the historical system racism, because HUD has been in lawsuits for this matter, and with that being said, we are experiencing the same things those lawsuits historically have been brought upon people, black folks in our community. So HUD, let's work together. The City of Chicago, let's work together to end this systematic racism. Let's get these basement cleans. Let's get these people employed. Let's make America whole again. Let's make the Chicago whole again. Let's do this. That's it for me. Let's go.
Thank you, Mr. Ray. Now we're going to open it up to any questions that the audience may have. Any? Yes. Sure.
So did all people here receive money and it was not enough, or did everybody here just has not received any money?
So everyone here has received some money from FEMA. So I just want to be very clear. Some money from FEMA, which was not enough, and per the disaster, which was Illinois disaster 4728 that happened back in July of 2023, each household was supposed to get somewhere at a max from FEMA of up to $41,000. No one has even got anywhere close.
Can you give me a range of what people have?
On an average, out of the...
From zero, because I'm a zero person.
Okay, so I will say somewhere over the ballpark between 5,000 and 7,000. And as you heard... Yes. So hold on. Be cool. She said give an average. So average... numbers, 16,000. We're not talking about the small number that's here, so we're giving the average. So I hear what you're saying, and you're in a really, really low average. So yeah.
So if you said zero, so we're talking like 0 to maybe like 7,000.
Yep, that's the range.
And then I guess I'm wondering what updates are you guys getting from the city as far as this action plan that they're trying to get approved by HUD? That they said that they've taken the feedback from residents between May and like July 3rd, which is just like a week ago, and that their plan is to reallocate $15 million from infrastructure and mitigation to public services, which is what Mr. Howard was talking about. So what kind of updates are you guys getting? Obviously, that still has to be approved by HUD.
Right.
So we're not in the phase where we know that money's actually coming. But what updates have you guys gotten about that money actually being reallocated from infrastructure to public services and residents?
And I think a lot of the constituents here have told you, like, they're not hearing anything, right? No updates. And so the update that you just gave, thank you, right? Because then now we can take that back to the community. And it's no, I would just want to make sure we're clear. There's no attack on our elected officials, but our elected officials are supposed to be able to come back and communicate that with us, right? They have ward night meetings. And I know many of these people here go to those ward night meetings. And before we had this meeting today, we had a meeting yesterday. There's no updates. So thank you for the updates. Those updates are not being regularly shared with us. The last update we heard was that the action plan had went in. Our community concerns will be heard, but there was no anything after that.
Can you give us that update that you are aware of? Can you explain, can you say that again, the allocation part?
Yeah.
So, okay.
So if you look at this, the money from the community development block, that's the grant, there's no money going towards fixing our home. The money that they're using is a loan. It's the 40 million. That's the money. This grant money is not being applied to any of the homes, the resident homes.
So I think what you're saying is that now they're using $15 million of that grant money to go towards homes now. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I'm just reading this directly off this document from the city, and this is a public document. I'm happy to share that with everybody. It says the city has, it says as a result of feedback that we've received on the draft action plan, the city has revised the action plan by reallocating $15 million for infrastructure and mitigation to public services. Upon approval from HUD, these funds will be used for the disaster relief assistance program to provide reimbursement assistance for residents impacted by the disasters with documented expenses that have been incurred.
Well, that's good to hear, but that's not enough. $15 million, I could tell you 2 years ago to try to get a home stable. Stable meaning no the muck out, no mold in their basement, mold remediation. It was going to take somewhere in the ballpark between $20,000 to $30,000. We asked 2 years ago for 200 homes. There was a proposal that we sent over and said, hey, we need $50 million. The mayor then put out July 16th, 2024, $5 million. $5 million. Even with the plan, as Mr. Ray is saying here, when they're taking $40 million, they're expecting to take $40 million 2 years later to fix 1,600 homes. I don't know, I haven't been to school for quite some time, but that math is not adding up at all, right? So I thank you, I appreciate it. Is there any other questions, comments, concerns? Anyone here? Yes, Mr. Rubin.
Yeah, in light of the fact that I got a phone call from FEMA saying that my application was disapproved, and I've been fighting for the past 2 years, and I had a conversation with you saying that if I had to, I'm prepared to do it alone because my situation is a lot more complicated than a lot of the homeowners here because because of my family background. But still, it's not going to remedy the fact that the government will do shit on the ass keeping any of us.
Yep.
The government don't give us nothing without taking it from us first. That's the reason why me at almost 70 years old, I still got to go work.
Yep. And that's a really good point that Mr. Rubin brings up. The city put the FARP program in place that was done in July for $5 million. Now with that plan, the plan only utilized contractors that have no disaster training, that have no disaster response, crisis response, as we have a list of contractors from the community, local contractors, that can come out and help because they've been helping boots on the ground since day one. We have one of the contractors here. They've been going out volunteering their time for free. Then when they decided to put money up, the $5 million in July of 2024, they told him pretty much and other contractors, oh well, we're going to use these people that have no experience. And then they tried to, what we proposed was get them safe and healthy, right? Get the mold out. Once you get the mold out, we can worry about the bill back later. They took up to $25,000 where they said, hey, we're going to shove all this in the basement, and we have pictures that we could definitely share with you. Doors are cut uneven. Floors are just cracked and buckled from the amount of pressure and the shifting, like this one young lady said, the shifting of the foundation and the structure, not even thinking about the electrical or the plumbing. The bigger issue, I think, here is the rain blockers that were established 30 years ago. Rain blockers that were put in the street for a system that now is almost 400 years old. I'm just being overzealous, but you have rain blockers that somebody put in the ground and it's not helping, and it's helping to flood these homes. It's keeping the water on the street level, and as it's being kept on the street level, and everyone that was in office when Daley was in office, when these things were established and put in the ground, now they are really obsolete. And what they're doing is they're leading to the flooding that you're seeing here, the shifting in the foundation, the shifting in the structure. 4 feet of water in basements. That's absurd. 4 feet, 5 feet. I've heard up to 8. The person couldn't even go down in their basement. But what I will say in closing, because I know you guys have to get on to your days, we have put together a 10 things to do when your basement does flood. So for those that need help when their basements are flooding, where they're still flooding now, because we have more rain that's coming, just so you know. And so we have a number that they can call. We have people on standby that they get back in contact with them within 24 to 48 hours to see how we can help. On top of that, we have 10 rules that you can do in order to help with the flooding in your basement. The first and foremost is get anything that's wet out within 24 to 48 hours. If not, after that 48th hour, that mold is beginning to set in. And I can't stress that enough. But then on top of that, as Mr. Ray was saying, we need the participation from the city. And what we mean by that is a lot of these people are older, right? They're not able to get this stuff out like it's needed. It's horrific. This gentleman here he had a Barbie doll collection that his wife left to him before she passed. Do you know how traumatic that is? Every time it rains, my 6-year-old asks me, Mom, are those people okay? She's 6. How does a 6-year-old have more heart than your elected officials? Sure.
And I just want to say one more thing in conclusion. What this community fear is that the money that the city of Chicago has received from the federal government and has not been used right, has been misallocated. We don't want this community development block relief fund to be used in the same way, because just recently the ARPA, the American Recovery Act, they got millions of dollars from the government to help out Chicago in 2021, and millions of dollars has been misused, and right now millions of dollars, almost over $100 million, have not been used. And if it's not used by December 31st, it's going to be returned. And what we don't understand is that money was for emergency at the time for COVID, but whatever the case may be, but it's been used other than COVID. Why couldn't they have used that money to supplement, to help out this community and other communities that's in the LMI ward? That's what I want to put out. We do not want the city of Chicago to jack this money off like they have been done years in the past, historically. We want to work with the city of Chicago. We want to work with HUD. We have a plan, just like Ms. Princess Shaw stated. We have a plan, so work with us.
Thank you, Mr. Ray. So is there any other questions, comments, concerns, maybe? Because if you don't have any more questions, comments. Okay. Thank you guys for coming out. We appreciate you.
Thank you all. Thank you.